Yo, bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway.
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
They ain't ready. They ain't ready, Joe. They ain't ready. Here we go.
I'm gonna go almond rock here, guys.
I was like, what is it? You ain't Mexican. What is that?
I missed it a little bit though, so I dig a little deep in there, right? But yeah,
You did that.
What's up, bro? Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's show. Today we're doing our annual dueling mock drafts, baby. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, you guys? Joe, this is serious, all right?
This
Let
is
me know
very
how serious this is. Pop
It's
that
the most
bill.
serious thing ever. Yeah, it's the most serious thing ever. We get into it, and as promised, it's mock draft mania, bro. So it's gonna be fun. As you know, our dueling mock drafts. Mike will do one. I'll do one. So, without further ado, Mike. Well, before we get into that, man, let's recognize Mr. Tyron Smith has announced his retirement, Mike, and he has retired the same offseason as Zach Martin. So salute to Tyron Smith, Mike. What do you think about that announcement?
Yeah, man, it's you reflect, right? He was in the league 13 years. I've been on YouTube for 11. You've been on YouTube for 21. And when we look at this, Joe, we've seen many talents wasted. And when you think of Tyron Smith, when you think of guys like Zach Martin, Joe, you think Hall of Fame, you think Ring of Honor, you think elite, you think legend. They put the bang, they put the they put the respect at that position. The peers respected him, their teammates respected him, their coaches respected him. And one thing that they didn't get was that ring, and that right there is what matters the most in this game. And it hurts, Joe, that they didn't get it. And when I look at Tyron, and you see Tyron in person, he's a big man. Arm length, he's just a machine. You look at his technique. The guy was so good, Joe. Tyron Smith was so good that there really wasn't anything that he needed to work on in the middle of his prime because he doesn't master it at all. And that is what separates guys in this league. Tyron Smith's one of the great.
Yeah, definitely one of the greatest, man. Like you said, Zach Martin, the goats, Tyron Smith, another goat here, riding off into the sunset without a Super Bowl ring. It's unfortunate, man. But it is the new era of the Cowboys. Will we ever see any more additions to the Ring of Honor without any of these new guys sniffing a Super Bowl? That's what I'm wondering about in the future. Will they start allowing non-Super Bowl winners in the Ring of Honor? Because we're get there, seems like. So that'll be something to ponder in a couple of years, maybe another 10 years. If these guys don't start getting to Super Bowls, that could be something that starts happening here for the Ring of Honor. And I think that kind of taints it a little bit. And we kind of take some of the shine off. But Mike, without further ado, let's get into this mock draft mania. We do have a new addition. Another 30 visit was revealed today. Darius Alexander, the defensive tackle out of Toledo. Another big body there for the Cowboys. that could be had here. Depending on your like, but he's a solid player. He did pretty good there at the Senior Bowl, and I know they met with him, so they're going to bring him in for a closer look, Mike. The defensive tackle out of Toledo. So that's another addition to our 30 visit list.
Big guy, 6'4", 305, all right, from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Does a lot of good things right for a big guy running a 4.95, 28 reps on the bench press. He was a red shirt year in 2019. He played through COVID. Massive respect there. He started 12 games, 40 tackles, 7.5 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks, 4 pass breakups, returned an interception for a touchdown. The big guys getting pick sixes. Gotta love that. And high motor guy. Don't quit. Does necessary things to make sure there's impact on the play.
Yeah, gotta love when the big boys are rumbling down the field for a touchdown. I mean, that's crazy, bro. That's some crazy stuff there. Gotta love it. Cowboys need defensive tackle help. They gotta come away with something in this draft, I feel like. And he may be one of the guys. So, guys, take a closer look at Darius Alexander. Mike, 5-round mock draft. All right. You want to stick and pick, or do you want to just go with the flow? Do you want to just stick and pick, maybe trade somewhere? How do you want to attack your mock draft?
Joe, I'm going to let the board tell me what I should do. If there's a guy there that I absolutely have to have at 12, Cowboys Corner is going to draft him. If there's multiple guys there and I can trade back and pick up other picks, I'm going to do that, Joe.
All right, man. Let's get into this mock draft simulation. Let's see here, Mike. Is this something you can launch from your screen, or do you want me to launch it from over here?
Yeah, you take control, Joe. Take control.
All right. Here we go. Let's go ahead and share this screen here. Let me get that going. Oh, we got a super chat, Mike, there. If you wanna check that out while I get this set up. Mike Berlerna, thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Do you think the wide receiver from Arizona, Cat McMillan, will fall to us? Big possibility. I mean, you look at guys like CeeDee Lamb falling to us. You look like guys, like Travis Frederick falling to us. Talent is going to fall, right? That's just the nature of the beast. Depending on how many quarterbacks go first, how many running backs go first, how many O-linemen, right? So it all depends on how teams really attack this where players start to fall. Aaron Rodgers fell all the way to 26. So, it's just one of those deals where if a player's there, now Tat McMillan could be there, Mike, Joe, guys in the chat, could be there, but where do the Cowboys have him ranked on the board? Just because, and this is where people fall confused, I think, is many boards are different. The Cowboys board is going to be different from Joe's board. Joe's board is going to be different from my board. My board's going to be different from the Danny Savage, the Graph Gurus, right? Totally different. So just because Tet McMillan is high on your board doesn't necessarily mean he's high on the Cowboys board. There could be a player that the Cowboys have higher than McMillan, and that's okay. As long as the Cowboys truly believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that their BPA at that 12 is the best draft pick for the Cowboys.
Yeah. No, I think he could be available there. But yeah, man, everybody's got their own takes on these guys. But we'll see how it goes, man. But let's get this thing going here. Shout out, Ishan. Good to see you in the chat box, bro. Good to have you aboard here. And everybody that's joining us here across the world. We do appreciate you all. Mike, I got this set up here for you. 5 rounds. Cowboys. Enter the solo draft. Here we go, bro.
And chat, I might need your help here. 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Your input will be very valid. All right. Let me make sure I got the chat pulled up here. All right. Oh, we got a trade. 2026 second, next year's second, and next year's second. And they want my 12. No, decline, reject. Ooh, pick 55. It's going all the way up to 22. Who's on the board, Joe? Gosh darn it. I can't see it. Reject, Joe. I like that. I like it. I do like that. Oh, the Giants. That's not realistic, though. Well, I guess you're going up. Oh,
You're leaving the first round. On
yeah,
that
you're leaving
one.
the first round. Go hit next instead of reject. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that's the
Nothing?
last. That's the last offer.
Okay, reject. Damn, I like the Chargers offer.
You're on the board here. A couple of thank God they're off the board. Went here. You got Cam Ward, Hunter Carter, Campbell, Mason Graham, Ted McMillan, Armand Mambu. All right. Shamar Stewart, man. Will Johnson, Ashton Genty went to the Bears. Jalen Walker, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Still got a lot of talent here. Shador still on the board. Tyler Warren still on the board. Kelvin Banks.
Joe, the trenches is where it's at. Kelvin Banks, I have very high on my board. I mean, I showed you I only got 30 players. Kelvin Banks was very high on my board. With a 6'4", 320 mammoth out of Texas. High ceiling prospect. He could play tackle. He could play guard. I'm going to draft him to be my left tackle. All right. You got Josh Simmons out of Ohio State. Nice program over there. Good program.
Kelvin Banks, is that your pick there, Mike?
I don't know. I'm still going through stuff, Joe.
Okay.
Click all for me again. Click
There you
all
go.
for me. I'm going Kelvin Banks. This is a no-brainer for me. Give me Kelvin Banks. Yes, sir.
All right. Where are you going to plug him in at, Mike?
He has to be my left tackle.
Going through the first round here. There went Amika. Jahad Campbell off the board. James Pierce. Luther went. Xavier Watts is gone. God dang it. Hearts are broken around the Irish world. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here, bro. Oh, we got a trade offer, Mike.
The Bengals. Oh, next year's third.
Man.
Nope. I don't like that. I'm giving it my 247. Oh. No, I don't care about next year's draft. Not in this mock draft. All right. Joe, no brainer. Omarion Hampton, we just stole him. The best running back in the draft. There's nothing else for me to say.
That's crazy. He's still there. Simulation.
Wow,
that's crazy. Would that
really
was
easy?
Would that really happen? I wonder. If that were to happen, if that were to happen, that would be like the equivalent to our 2020 draft where Diggs went in the second round, right?
Right. No, yes. That would be. Third round pick here, Joe. We got our trenches. Nope. That's too far of a move.
There you go.
We got our trenches. We got our running back. Golly, is this going to be an offensive of draft? Is Jaden Higgins my pick here, Joe?
I love Jaden Higgins.
I think that's my pick, Joe. I'm going Higgins here.
That's a great pick.
I'm ignoring the defense. I'm ignoring the defense here, Joe.
It's all good, man. Sometimes the draft really goes the complete opposite of what the fans think, man. It happens every year. You know what I mean? It literally happens every year. That's why everybody wanting Genty and Ted, I think they're going to be heartbroken, dude. And those are the only two names that a lot of people know right now.
Right.
Which is unfortunate, but we're trying to get the result here.
The more I'm doing this, the more I'm doing this, the more I'm loving the Kelvin Banks pick. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He'll be my left tackle for sure.
And here goes that fourth round Abyss.
Quinn Ewers went to the Titans. I could see that actually. Jordan Phillips.
Here's where we're bleeding talent without a tourniquet. The 3rd to the 5th round. Will the Cowboys do this again, Mike? Will they let the blood bleed again in the 4th round?
They don't care. They don't care. They didn't care last year. They could have easily traded back in, and they didn't do it. And we're on the board.
There you go. The 5th round, Mike. After all the bleeding, or whatever the hell you want to call it, they're on the board, Mike.
Click on Jamari Cardwell. Let me see his size, Joe. I don't know this player much.
Quick recap.
Let me see.
So far, you got 3 offensive players: Banks in the 1st, Hampton in the 2nd, Higgins in the 3rd. So the offense has been bolstered up, Mike.
No excuses for click on the clipboard for Caldwell. Let me see this monster here. Is he a monster? 6'2"? No, get me out of there. I don't want another Mozzie.
He's definitely a one tech. Jake Brenstill, Cowboys met with him, the Y tight end.
We talked about Jake last week.
Yeah, that's a good one there.
God, am I going to go all offense here? Am I a Dacaroni today?
How are you feeling about cornerback depth? How are you feeling about DT, edge, linebacker?
Am I going to double dip there at running back?
This is your mock. Whatever you want to do, Mike.
Go back to all, Joe.
Okay.
Click on Riley Mills for me, please. Notre Dame. 6'5", 291. Dang it. 7.5 sacks, 9 tackles for loss. Give me Riley Mills, Joe. We're going Notre Dame here. We got a defensive tackle. That's my guy, just for his size. I don't know him, but we're going to get to know him because I'm drafting him.
And that's how the draft could happen, bro. Like a lot of the names that go through these simulations with fans, our draft classes always end up with all people nobody really talked about, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, 1980 in the house, yeah.
That is one of those good picks, bro. Like one of those ones where nobody's really talking about, and it really could happen. 1980 in the house. Good to see you in here, bro. The bro of bros. The bro of bros. All right. He's here, bro.
Oh, Daddy Savage was a big fan of Caldwell there. But he likes my pick for the Notre Dame kid. So my draft, Joe, A++. Yeah,
all
big
right.
shoes. Oh, I'm still on the board, ain't I? Hold on.
Yeah, you got another 5th here.
Okay, another 5th. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got 2 5ths. All right, here we go. Click on Sebastian Castro for me. Oh, wait. Caldwell's still there. Am I double dipping at defensive tackle, Joe? I think I am. Super underrated. 5 sacks last year. I didn't like his size, but we got to figure out something with Mozzie. Give me the defensive tackle out of Oregon, Joe. I'm
All
double
right.
dipping at DT.
Double dip. And there's your 5-round mock, Mike. You got Kelvin Banks, the offensive tackle, Behemoth Cowboys. He's a 30 visit.
Mm-hmm.
Marion Hampton as well as a 30 visit. The running back star, the steal there in the 2nd round. Higgins, the route running monster with the feet. I love that one there in the 3rd. I think that's a steal too. Riley Mills, the muscle there, that Notre Dame defensive front. Riley Mills there, and Jamari Caldwell, another one of these big boys. We want to talk about stuff in the run here. Nobody's going to be running on us here with this rotation with Mills, Caldwell, Osa Odigizua.
Well, look here, Joe. I'm going to tell you this, all right? The best defensive tackle on this team right now, before this draft, And after free agency is Osa Odigizua. All right. Period.
Slip, bro. Freudian slip.
So why would I want to get rid of the best defensive tackle that's on this team? I want to build around the best defensive tackle on this team. Those two guys, Caldwell and Mills, do that for Osa. That does it for Micah Parsons. That does it for Dante Fowler. Joe, say that again. No one's doing what on us if we draft those two guys?
It's going to be hard to run on them.
Bam! We just fixed it, Joe. Jerry, take notes.
yeah. You Sean in the house. We know the convo, but it is what it is. Man, that's a good draft. It's just interesting draft, Mike. Even with the bleeding out in the fourth round, came away with two monster defensive tackles. Very
and we fixed the offense. And check this out, dogs. If the offense can milk clock, stay on the field, run the ball with Hampton, you got Banks there to solidify the O-line. That only helps. You got Higgins to help catch those crucial third downs. That only helps the defense. You can have a middle-of-the-pack defense, but if you have an explosive offense in this league, it helps your defense 1,000%. The last couple of years, when we went 36 wins, we had the defense and special teams making the plays. It carried the offense. This time, the defense ain't as good as it used to be. Can the offense carry the defense? That's my mentality, Joe, and I think we did that.
Very good. Very, very interesting picks indeed. I love it. Let's go ahead and get into my mock draft. Now we're going the other way here. Dueling 5-round mock drafts. Here we go. Let's restart this baby here.
All right, Joe, you're on the clock. You're on the hot seat. Mine was easy. Let's see if yours is as easy, Joe.
I'm going to make mine controversial as fuck. All right, here we go. We're going to go into the solo draft here. 5 rounds. Cowboys on the board here. Let's go. Cameron Ward, Carter, Hunter. Tyler Warren's gone. Will Johnson, Mason Graham. There went Kellen Banks. Jalen Walker.
Oh, man. Yours is going to be completely different from mine. That's realistic.
Let me see here. 17 and 49. I do like that there. Let me see what else we got here. I might move down a bit here. I see a player there that I don't think is going to be there. I'm probably going to ignore that there. Or am I? Fuck, bro. What the fuck?
We don't care about next year's picks, New York. Can you imagine?
All right. All right, so we got 17 and 49. We got that offer there. 49 is what? Is that is that a third round?
That's the end of the second, I think.
All right.
It's like the 3/4 into the second.
Okay, let's take that. Let's take that.
No, I think it's close to the middle of the second.
Let's take this. All right, we're on the clock. All right. We're gonna make our pick. Let's reject these. All right. Shedeur Sanders is the pick. I don't care about Joe Milton and all this mess. We're going with Sanders here. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to say, wait, whoa.
Man, how people be screaming out
You just
there.
got a new face expression for the intro next year.
Let's see what we got. Let's see. We still got Hampton on the board there. Okay. Wide receiver. Burden is still there. Josh Simmons is still there. My guards, I don't. No, that's too rich there. Let's look at defense. Let's look at the defensive tackles. Harmon. Walter Nolan, edge. I'm going to take James Pierce Jr. right here, man. We're going to add pass rush.
And he was a 30 visit, no?
Yes, he was. He is, to me, he kind of reminds me of, dang, dude, what was that dude? Oh, he kind of reminds me of Frank Clark in a way. If you remember Frank Clark, similar type of issues, similar question off the field, but productive on the field. All right. Let's see what we got here. No, I don't want to do that. Check that. No, I don't want to do that. All right. So we're here in round 2. This is our 44 pick, Mike. Ooh, man.
Wow, your draft board is completely. Mine was easy.
See, I like this JT guy here. This would be a good man. I wish he would be. I don't think he'll make it to the 3rd.
What do you like about him, Joe?
Just strong pass rusher, man. I think he's got a high ceiling. He still has room to grow, and powerful. You know what I mean? I think he can really be productive in this draft class. Let me look at offense. Okay, I'm gonna wait here a little bit. We got Caleb Johnson. We're in the second round at 4. I'm gonna take Carson Swearinger right here, linebacker, UCLA. And here comes second pick, bro. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. Higgins is still there. I think I'm gonna get my running back here.
Okay, who you getting?
I'm gonna get my running back here, bro. We're gonna go Caleb Johnson, Iowa.
How big is he?
He's a monster of monsters, bro.
Oh, but Scatterboo was available.
Yeah. No, actually, Scatterbo, he's finished his 30 visits. Cowboys were not one of them. So unless they met with him during the combine, which actually I think they did, that'll be all she wrote. We are now in the 3rd round, Mike. Let me see what we got here.
That's good. That's a good draft so far for you, Joe.
76, 78. No, that's not good enough there.
Give us a recap after you go through these draft picks of where you're at.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if we can get something out of these guys. I don't want your 5th. I'll take your 4th though.
Oh, I like this. I like the strategy, Joe. Will they do it? You might have to add a 7th though. You might have to add 247. Damn.
Rejected. Okay, that's fine. Let's do a recap. What do we have here so far, Mike? We did a small trade down, which I think is very possible for the Cowboys. James Pierce Jr., the edge rusher, Mike. Why I think that they're still in business for edge rusher. Who do you have, Mike? You have Micah Parsons.
Dante Fowler. You got Sam Williams, Marshawn Nealon.
You got Nealon, who you expect him to be better on second year, but you got Sam Williams. You kind of know what he is. He may give you 4, maybe 5 sacks.
He'll give you a hell of a training camp, pump you up a little bit.
He's going to give you penalties. He's going to extend drives. I just cannot get past the knucklehead part of Sam Williams' game, bro. It drives me nuts.
With his absence, Joe, I think a lot of people forgot about that. So that's a great red flag you mentioned there on Sam Williams.
Oh, for sure. And then linebacker Carson Swearinger. you need linebacker here. I think you can improve what you have right now. And we have the linebacker whisperer and Coach Eberflus. So I think he probably loves this player here. He's a 30 visit. Caleb Johnson, Mike. I mean, you've seen his game. This guy, he's awesome there. Let's go ahead and make this third round pick here. We need to show some love too. I think we need to get a receiver here in the third, man. But I don't want to force it either. Let me see what we got here at tight end. Harold Fanning Jr. sitting there. I like him. Cowboys probably don't, though, because of the measurables. We know the Cowboys are really big on their measurables. 6'6" is kind of the sweet spot for the Cowboys tight ends. That's kind of what they like. 6'3". Probably not on the Cowboys board. They do like here's one that they brought in here that they do like. Elijah Arroyo. He's 6'5". That's pretty close. That's probably why they're looking at him. 33 in charms. Third round. Let's see what Miles Frazier. He's there. Miles Frazier could be a guy here that you bring in here to compete for your right guard position. 6'5", 317. This guy, I like him. I don't think he'll make it to the fourth, and we don't have a fourth. Jake Majors. TJ Sanders. There's Darius Alexander. We're just talking about him. Another visit there. Collins. These are all really good defensive tackles here, Mike. Shamar Turner is even there. Cowboys wined and dined. Shamar Turner, high interest here. 6'3", 290 though, Mike.
God, I don't like that 290, Joe.
Yeah.
I'm tired of undersized tackles. We got rid of Rod Marinelli for a reason. We have not went away from the Rod Marinelli mentality.
Yeah. Ooh. Oh, okay. All right. I think I know where I'm going with this one here.
Give us the word of the draft, Joe.
I'm going to go Jacob Parrish here, the cornerback. He's going to provide us some major depth here. And he could fill that position there for the departed Jordan Lewis if you want. You know, I think he plays with good technique. He's not being talked about too much, but he's a solid cornerback. I really like Jacob Parrish, Mike.
Yeah, it's interesting. You go Kansas State. Connor Riley, the new offensive coordinator, was the head coach last year for Jacob Parrish out of Kansas State. And so Cowboys could have some good insight on this kid straight from the offensive coordinator, Connor Riley.
And here goes the 5th round bleed out. You know, I'm with you, Mike. I think that these guys are not going to do – they might get another third, maybe a second, but I think they're going to leave that 4th round just sitting there, bro. They're so stubborn, man. You know?
Oh, we know, Joe. We've been covering this team for 33 years collectively. we know this team inside and out. When a lot of the times, a lot of people conskew my talking as if I'm this big Cowboy fan. Like, obviously I'm a big Cowboys fan, but like I'm like the unicorns and rainbow. But I speak of what I know that the Cowboys do, right? I don't think outside of the box. I think inside the box because the Cowboys have shown me nothing different from outside the box. So when I talk Cowboys, I got to stay inside the confines of the norms.
Yes, sir. No, I know what you mean, man. Here we go. 5th round, Mike. The blood has stopped. We're back on the clock. 5th round. Quick recap. Defense, offense, off, and then back to defense. So let's see if we can get going here. Where's the receiver? People are yelling out their lungs. See what we got here left.
You know they. Where's the receiver?
Andrew Armstrong. I do like him. Jimmy Horn. Oof. Kobe Hudson. Caden Prather out of Maryland might be one. Let's see what you got here. Might be able to wait a little bit. I think I would get a receiver in the 5th round.
Ooh.
I think I'm gonna go a different route here first, though. Let me go here and see what we have at tight end. We got a couple of tight ends here. Evans, Lakey. Oh, let me look at offensive tackle. Cooper. Caleb Rogers. At the 5th round. Is that too rich for him? Connor Colby, Cooper, Gray, Lampkin, Tate, Truss, Sinners.
Connor Colby sounds like a horrible draft pick just with that name.
Best available here. Let's look at defense. Let's see what we got here. Cam Jackson. He's there. Defensive tackle.
We got Fruity Pebbles.
Ty Hamilton is still there. There's still some decent defensive tackles here. Edge. Johnny Walker. Not to be confused with the liquor. But he's there. All right. Ahmad, Elijah. A couple of ends. Let's go back at linebacker. I don't think they'll go there. Cornerback, we already got the one there. Safety is a couple of years ago we did a breakdown as the 5th round. They love taking safeties in the 5th round. Flyers. It still holds true today. Shiloh Sanders is there. But 5th round still, I think that still feels a little rich. I think I'm gonna go. You know what? Let's look at these running quarterbacks. Do we want to add another quarterback into the room?
I mean, if you want to replace the Will Grills of the world, absolutely.
Okay, that's something to think about. Running back, do we want to double dip? Brashard Smith is here. He's there, bro. The speedster, running back. Okay, he's a possibility. Oh man. Yeah, man. I think I'm going to go. I'm gonna double dip here and go Brashard Smith here.
Oh, double dipping the running back position. Interesting.
There it is. James Pierce, Swinger, Caleb Johnson, Jacob Parrish, cornerback, and the running back, Brashard Smith, Mike.
Mm-hmm. I like the way you mixed it up, Joe.
Yeah, you got to mix it up. Although I had too many of the 30 visit guys on here. I'm not comfortable with that because I know that that's not how these drafts usually go. It's usually 1, maybe 2 at the most that they grab on the 30 visit guys. But nevertheless, solid draft. James Pierce automatically becomes your number 2 sack master guy behind Micah Parsons, Mike. I think that's a big boost getting after the quarterback. You know what I mean? Maybe that's the route they go to help the lack of depth at defensive tackle. I don't know, man, but they really got to come away with some more depth here. Linebacker, and then we went running back Caleb Johnson. Got to come out with a running back here, right, Mike?
You have to. Absolutely, you have to. I mean, you look at Dante Williams and Miles Sanders and Malik Davis and Deuce Vaughn. You can't be comfortable with those guys. And because if you're comfortable with that lineup, then you learned absolutely nothing from last year. I think you have to really invest at the running back position because the way your quarterback looked in the red zone last year. You need to be able to pound the rock when it's time to pound the rock, and you need to be able to set up play action when it's time to set up play action. And if they do not draft a running back in this draft, they don't care, Joe. And then I like the fact that you double dipped, not complacent. I do like Dante Williams. I'm not a big fan of the Miles Sanders, pickup. But if you pair Dante Williams with a guy like Hampton or a guy like Caleb Johnson or a guy like Rashad Smith, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because it's fresh legs, and you can't be scared to double dip. I like it.
Yeah, I think that would be the ideal situation. Come out of this, you have to hope you can push off Deuce Vaughn, Miles Sanders. Miles Davis is still lingering around. You got to hope that you can bring guys in here that can bump these guys off here. My only fear here is that, Deuce Vaughn's dad is part of the scouting team. Like that's a big conflict of interest to me. You know what I mean? Like, how is that going to stop us from taking a second running back? Because if they take a second running back, those low hanging fruit guys, they're in big trouble.
The best thing about having Schottenheimer as the head coach for the Cowboys is he was able to game plan and strategize Deuce Vaughn. And what I'm saying here is last year there was a lot of chatter about Deuce Vaughn playing wide receiver. It never materialized. Schottenheimer was able to see Deuce Vaughn not able to run the rock successfully. So hiring a guy like Schottenheimer, who's been on the team for 3 years, now first-year head coach, he knows what he has in Deuce Vaughn, and he doesn't have anything but a small running back that is not NFL caliber. So I think that it's okay that Schottenheimer is the head coach because he knows what's going on, and it's okay for them to go double dip at running back if they have to.
No, that's a great point, Mike. That's a really, really good point there. Talking about Schottenheimer being here for a couple of years now, seeing what's what. Now, how much pull will he have? Are they going to set him up for failure by keeping on these subpar players, or is he going to be able to really mold the team that he wants? You know what I mean? And
it's a good question.
I think they've done a decent job with coaches. Now give him the groceries, like Parcells used to say. You know what I mean? Let him pick his guys to help, this offense get back online, man. Because right now, you don't have it right now.
If you look at the trend for head coaches, specifically the Dallas Cowboys, Mike McCarthy's first draft pick was CeeDee Lamb. Joe, you talked all offseason about Mike McCarthy's going to draft a wide receiver because that's what Mike McCarthy does. You look at Jason Garrett's first draft pick, Tyron Smith, right? And because Jason Garrett had the vision of building the trenches back up, he was able to get that done. I can't remember Wade Phillips' first draft pick. Those are the first two that come to my mind, so that's why I use them. But I'm sure if Wade Phillips was a defensive pickup for the first time, that goes to show you that Jerry will give the head coach the benefit of the doubt in their first year to go get their guy. He did it with Garrett, and he did it with Mike McCarthy.
Yeah. No, that's another great point there. That's why we could see running back, in fact, be that first pick. You know what I mean? It definitely would. I would think it's going to be in the first 3 rounds, a running back, because that emphasis is going to be there. Pound the rock. We've got placeholders right now with Javonte. He's a third down back. You know what I mean? At best. Miles Sanders, how much tread is on those tires? You know what I mean? He looked like he fell off last year. And, we got to bring in some guys here that can bump off some of these dudes. Camp bodies, as I call them.
What year was Wade Phillips' first year as a Cowboy?
2007, I think it was.
It was after Bill Parcells.
Right.
So 2007 draft class. Let's look up. Let me look. This is going to bother me.
I think that might have been Sean Lee, maybe, or Spencer. I think Anthony Spencer was one of his picks.
It was Anthony Spencer.
Yeah.
So that tells me right there, Jerry Jones will let the head coach pick their guys. Wade Phillips was a defensive guy. They went defense for the first pick.
Yeah, they wanted to give another outside linebacker opposite of DeMarcus Ware. When he was on the field, he was pretty good. He helped out. He got franchise tagged twice. So Cowboys, they liked him for a while there, right, Mike? So yeah, it's a good point. That's a really good point about first year head coach, year one.
They get their guys. That's their draft. Make the impression, and you better not fail because you only get one opportunity.
Super chat here, Mike Blerner. Do you think Tolbert is a wasted roster spot? Mike, I think the T definitely is. The Cowboys don't, and Dak doesn't. You see Dak in some of his interviews, and that's one of the first names that comes out of his mouth. Oh, Tolbert! Like, oh, dude, I'm sick of this crap, dude. But they don't have people good enough to bounce that guy or bounce him to like a fourth on the depth chart. That's the problem,
100%, Joe. If you look last year, I was a big contributor to roster garbage. Like I spoke out about it a lot, and they turned a lot of roster garbage last year. Got a lot of it out of here. Now there's roster garbage this year. Deuce Vaughn, Tolberts. If Brooks looks like crap, he's going to be considered roster garbage. You still got Josh Ball and Matt Walesko hanging on. Those guys are roster garbage. Some of these guys that they signed in free agency could be roster garbage if they have a bad training camp. The Cowboys, it's like when you move to another house, Joe. You have to do a lot of packing. You have to throw a lot of stuff away. Out with the old, in with the new. The Dallas Cowboys, if they were to pack right now, they're taking a lot of old shit with them. And they have to be able to learn to get rid of roster garbage. They can't bank on the what ifs and the potential whenever the potential's gone. I'm a big fan of potential, but it just can't. Potential can only last for a couple of years. And this roster garbage is getting extreme.
Yeah, man. I have to say that, unfortunately, Jalen kind of that can he play at the next level coming from a smaller school like Alabama State? And he's proven that he has not been able to. You know what I mean? That he has that narrative of not being able to do it. You know what I mean? The lights have been too big for him. Somehow, I mean, training camp. That's why I say training camp has become the new hype part of the offseason because, they're turning heads. He beat Trayvon Diggs on this play and this and that, or whoever the hell. But then, you get to preseason. They don't play in the preseason. And then you get to the regular season, and he's nowhere to be found. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Jalen Tolbert has maxed out. That's who he is right now. That's who he's not going to get better. He hit that ceiling, bro.
Yeah, the only thing that I can say good about Tolbert, and take it as you will, is he'll make a play a game. I don't need a play a game. I need multiple plays a game.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he sticks out and he stays here, because it's those big plays that he made, those big catches that he made that sticks out in everybody's mind. He's not very good, guys. It's okay to let go of roster garbage, I promise.
Yeah. No, he's definitely not good. They got to get some more wide receiver talent in that room there. They brought in some free agents. Paris Campbell, he's a bust. They just brought him in for training camp, but they got to come away here with receiver. See what else we got here in the chat box, guys. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in now. Make sure you guys pound if you haven't already. Like, subscribe, and share. 5-round dueling mock draft. We'll probably have another one of these definitely before we get to the draft. So we got
That's next week.
Yeah, we'll probably do another one of these, another mock draft, obviously, and see what the scenarios are. And I think we'll have probably a pretty close list of the 30 visits by then. You know what I mean? Some of them are starting to trickle out, the remaining ones that are out there. And then you have some of the secretive ones that they don't really want to know if he was or if he wasn't or this and that. You know what I mean? So we'll see who else they might be interested in. But Mike,
Joe,
fun video.
question.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to do our 3rd annual or maybe 4th annual live stream first round?
We are. We're officially announcing that here tonight, guys. We will be doing the first round live, and we'll see maybe the 2nd and 3rd. We'll see that. But for sure, the first round, we will be covering all 32 picks. You know what I mean? Because you never know what can happen at the end, at the bottom of the first round. Do they get under the skirt of their old balls and do some crazy move? Who knows? You never know. Does somebody get traded? They're talking about, do they trade Trayvon Diggs? Do they do something like that? And they're back in the first round. So we definitely are going to cover the whole first round. So make sure you follow us here. And it's gonna be a lot of fun, Mike.
Absolutely be a lot of fun, and there could be a new Cowboys Corner backdrop by then. Stay tuned.
Ooh, I can't wait, Mike. Sounds fun indeed, man. Tomorrow. So next week, I think we'll take a look at our top 100. Mike and I are have compiled ours. And we'll share that out next week, and then we'll kick off another mock draft mania for you guys to scenarios, and through a couple. We'll do another, maybe a 3rd mock draft. So maybe we'll go a little deeper. Maybe we'll go 6 rounds, but 5 I think is a sweet spot. 6 and 7, you're throwing darts. You know what I mean? That's really what it is.
Yes. So you will be live on draft day. Yes, we will be live on the first round, maybe 2nd or 3rd. We'll keep you guys updated. And it's time to dress our Sunday's best. Joe might have to bust out the tie.
It's fun, bro. I love it, man. It's so much fun. But that's all we have tonight, guys. Thank you for our annual dueling mock drafts. We'll be back next week with another one. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, bro.
Yeah. _ Cowboys Corner on the Twitters, on the X, whatever you want to call it. Cowboys Corner right here on the YouTubes. Joe, it's always an honor, always a pleasure. Better late than never. And we're kicking butt on this draft talk, and we're giving you the latest and the greatest.
That's what it is, man. You hear it from us first, and we'll see you for the next one, man. It's a lot of fun, guys. Probably not like button on your way out. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.